What's up, guys? We are back to do another topic video. We want to give thanks to the boys over at MMAforum.com, specifically Aaron, credit completely for this topic. Really, really good one. Is MMA a dangerous sport? We're making a video on this, and a couple other YouTube MMA guys like Phantom, USC Fan, and others will be making videos and posting them as responses to this. So definitely check that one out. So here's some interesting information. In the last decade, the sport has seen 3 deaths. Sport meaning MMA. 2 in poorly regulated shows outside the country and 1 in 2007 in Texas. The 2 fighters who died overseas may have had pre-existing medical conditions they failed to disclose. The Texas fighter died of complications from blunt trauma to the head with subdural hemorrhage, according to the local medical examiner's office. So, with that said, guess what, folks? MMA is a dangerous sport. Oh, yeah. That's why we need to make sure that it gets outlawed immediately.
Oh, yeah.
And we can go back to the other standbys that have been tried and true for ages, like boxing and fishing and pole vaulting. That is where it's at, people, right there. Here's some interesting information. According to some stats on AssociatedContent.com, boxing averages roughly 11 deaths per year. Guess what, guys? Boxing, dangerous sport.
Yeah.
According to ESPN, from 1976 to 2001, 162 players died from injuries sustained in football. Guess what, guys? Football, dangerous sport. A guy named Don Henderson from the Ontario Hockey Association died just in January this year from injuries sustained in a hockey fight. Hockey, dangerous sport. St. Petersburg Times reports pole vaulting averages 1 death per year. Get this, fishing. That's a fun sport, right?
Oh, yeah.
No combat going on there. 70 deaths per year in the United States. This isn't just opinion, this is fact, people. Look it up. So, yeah, MMA is a dangerous sport, but there's this bias out there that MMA, because there's some blood and there's some actual contact among fighters, that it's somehow dangerous. But I think it's all because of maybe a couple different reasons, but the old school UFC days, when it was the tough man competition. You had, guys coming from biker bars like Tank Abbott and just slugging. They had 2 rules back then, 2 main rules: no biting, no eye gouging. In fact, take a look at this. What you're seeing right now is a sheet that was given to UFC fighters in the very first UFC 1 event that Ken Shamrock and Royce Gracie participated in. That's all they had to sign up on now. But now things have changed. Current UFC has over 30 rules. So it's been regulated. It's approved now by the Nevada Athletic Commission. So it's definitely changed. So people are still seeing the old UFC days when it was, every man for himself, no holds barred type competition. And that's just not the way it is anymore. So Jared, why is there this hatred of MMA when there's all these other sports that are completely, leading to deaths and injuries, even more so than MMA?
I think there's just a bunch of old fogies, No, seriously, they just can't handle how gruesome it is. I mean, it's pretty gruesome.
Yeah.
I mean, they cut people open with their elbows, they choke people unconscious. Some people just can't handle that, but obviously we're doing something right here. I mean, only 3 deaths, that's not bad.
That really isn't that bad considering what's happening, but the one cool thing with MMA is there's so many different ways for a fight to end. And a lot of the time, the injuries that are being sustained are not long-term injuries. There's a lot of facial lacerations. You got guys who will break something on their body, but it is treatable. You can start fighting another year later down the road. Ask guys like Corey Hill, who's getting treated for his leg kick, and Forrest Griffin, who's constantly being cut up, but they sew him up and he's good to go. With boxing, which Matt, I want to talk to you about. Yeah. Boxing, the whole point of the sport is punching the guy in the face. Body shots, head shots. And, when the fight is over, it might not look like the guy got damaged too bad besides just some swelling. But, 20, 30 years down the road, you got guys like Muhammad Ali who can barely even talk. Yeah. So the injuries are there. You're just seeing it in a different light. So boxing, is that a better way to go? You got, some purists out there.
Definitely not. Okay, you're not taking as much straight damage to your outer areas, but I mean, your head, your brain is just getting rocked.
Yes.
I mean, it's ridiculous. Come on, 11 deaths a year, and can you really say there's more boxers than mixed martial artists right now?
It's
on
true.
The Big Show, maybe, but come on, seriously. Look at all those small-time events going on. I mean, and not even small-time. I mean, you got Bodog Fight, Dream, all the stuff going on. I mean, I don't think we're outnumbered. by boxing. It's just boxing. It's just bad news. I mean, you're going to get severe brain damage.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Here's some interesting information. In March 2008, in the British Journal of Sports Medicine, they looked at 635 sanctioned MMA fights in the state of Nevada from March 2002 to September 2007, and found that while 23.6% of the fighters sustained some kind of injury, the majority of them consisted of facial lacerations. A majority of MMA fights ended by submission, whereas only 3.3% were decided by knockout. There you go. That's less than 1/3 the knockout rate that's in boxing, as another study has pointed out. So basically, yeah, MMA is dangerous, but there are a lot of other sports that are just as dangerous. So for the good of the sport, you know, if someone comes up to you and wants to argue that, show some stats. Let them know that you're into a sport not just because it's violent, but it is no longer a tough man competition. It is professional athletes that are competing with respect for each other. It's regulated. You got really good refs that are in there stopping it whenever a fighter's life is in danger. Unlike boxing, where the refs don't have power to stop the fight. So
Yeah.
we can go on and on about boxing versus MMA and all these other sports, but that's how it kind of boils down to. But thank you guys very much for watching the video. We're going to keep coming up with interesting topics like this. If you have one that's on your mind, you'd like to hear us talk about it, definitely shoot us an email or send us a message on YouTube and we will get to it. We want to send a quick shout out to Chase, who is also known as the Phantom UFC Fan. Check out his YouTube channel at this website address below. He's an awesome guy. When we first got into this, we saw his videos. We realized that there were some really cool people out there, and he really gave us a lot of help. Very humble guy, very knowledgeable, so definitely check out his YouTube channel. But guys, that is it for us. I am Josh Osborne.
Matt McCarty.
Derek McCarty.
And we will catch you on the next topic.